Blessings, blessings. Pray everyone's day went well. Blessings, Sister Tori.
Blessings, everyone.
Blessings, Mr. Kimbrough. How are you? Haven't seen your name in a minute. Hey, Dom. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. I should say, good to see you online. So last week, we had an awesome conversation with our guest for last week was Prophetess Ayana. And we were talking about the topic, I trusted you. And so, oh, this looks so.
It's fuzzy too. I just looked up on your thing. You'll see the
I don't know how to clean the camera. So. It looks better on this side than the other floor. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to make it not be fuzzy. But last week we were talking about the subject of I trusted you, and we had a very fruitful conversation with our guest, Prophetess Ayana. And she was very transparent with things that she had gone through and had experienced. And, sometimes when we go through things and it's our time to talk about them, we can make people feel a little bit uncomfortable because people know what they did, point blank. There's no other way to put that. People know what they did, people know what part they played in it. And so when you start talking about it, it kind of makes them a bit uneasy. And so I was grateful that uh, even in the midst of all of that, she still continued to be honest and upfront with you all and transparent about some of the things that she had gone through. And so for some of you who are on here with us tonight, I wish I could clean this camera. This is going to drive me bananas.
It should be in the back.
Here's my camera right there. One second, y'all. Here's my camera right there.
Oh.
It's right there. And I don't know what else to do. Sorry guys, trying to make it a little clearer. So last week we talked about I trusted you. Hey, Swashi, Mr. Swashi. So I gave the definition of trust. The definition of trust, a firm belief in the reliability, the truth, the ability or strength of someone or something. Again, firm belief. Firm belief in the reliability, the truth, the ability or strength of someone or something. The assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone or something. One in which confidence is placed. It goes further to say to rely on another person because you feel safe with them and have confidence that they will not hurt or violate you. Trust allows you to be vulnerable. Okay? So those are Hey, Nisi Poo. Those are, hey, Ronald, nephew, overseer. We wanted you to know what Webster, the internet, and everybody else got to say about trust. When it all boils down to it, if you can't remember everything that was said, what you need to know is that you relied on someone, you trusted their character and their ability to not hurt or violate you. And so on last week, Prophetess Ayana came on and she talked about uh, some things that had happened to her that caused her to no longer trust, some things that made her look differently at people and the church they go to. Uh, she was very forthcoming about herself. You know, like she said, some of it she brought on herself, but a lot of it she didn't. And the fact of the matter is, no matter who you are, bless you, Prophetess Kristen, no matter who you are, no matter who they are, no matter what the situation, whether it be male, female, whether it be besties, whether it be um, uh, platonic friendships, there are just boundaries. There are just certain things that you should not do to violate the thing that bond that you have, whichever bond it is. And when it becomes family, when you put your trust in family members, and you depend on them to honor them. I'm trying to get your whole face. To honor, you know, that thing. Like, okay, so for me, I was saying that with my mother and her dementia, as she was coming into her last days, she began to share a lot with me. And it was heartbreaking. It was devastating. The first night she started telling me some things, I had to run out of the house. I just, it was just too much all at one time. And then you brace yourself and you come back because there's a reason why she would only tell you. And so you go back and you listen. And as you listen, you're like, God, I trusted these people. I have loved these people. I have entrusted my children to them. I have introduced them into my arena of friends. And God, now to find out this, like I trusted you, like I believed in you. There was nothing that anybody could have said or done to make me believe that what I'm hearing now could ever be true concerning you. I trusted you and you betrayed me. I trusted you. I made myself vulnerable with you. In friendship, I gave you some of my darkest secrets because I thought that you were somebody else. And I found out that when it all boiled down to it, you could not be trusted. Therefore, I am now devastated. And now anyone that comes and presents themselves as someone I can trust or I can rely on their character, I'm suspect of everybody. Wherein I used to trust everybody until you gave me a reason not to. Now I'm suspect. Like, why you here? Like, why you trying to be my friend? Why you trying to love on me? What brought you into? How'd you even come to know me? What made you look me up on Facebook? That's my favorite question for people who request me as a friend. I'm sorry, how do we know each other? You know, like what made you, request me as a friend of all the people that's on Facebook? What made you find me? I'm curious about that. And it doesn't mean that I'm this bougie person, but there are too many scams on Facebook for one. There are too many people perpetrating fraud, which means that you wouldn't accept them as a friend under one name. So they created a Facebook page under another name, hoping, and hasn't it happened? Under another name to see if you would accept that. That's not a problem for me. I got had by that, but then I blocked you on that page too. It doesn't matter. I need to know that I could trust you. I need to know that my vulnerability is safe with you. I trusted you. and you betrayed me. And now I'm having a hard time bouncing back. Now I'm having a hard time seeing you in that same light. Now you've caused me to look at everybody else in a different light. And all they're trying to be,
Catfish your people.
I'm trying to be the best me, and I can't fully be that because of what you did to me. I trusted you. I gave you a part of me that I didn't give anybody else. My tea is over here. If you need to stay back, it's in the cup. And you let me down, and that hurts. I'm kind of terrible. Hey, God, sister, how are you? I trusted you. I believed in you. I gave you a part of me that I did not give anybody else, and you mishandled it.
That's scary when you give somebody a part of you, or you share with them intimate things, whether it be friendship, whether it be husband, and that trust is betrayed. It's a hurting thing. Um, when you don't know who you can trust, you thought that you could trust them, um, and that's what I'm still going to do it. I was hesitant. I don't know if I was more fearful or hesitant of doing, um, coming on talking about it from a foster care point of view, because that's how I look at this. What you're talking about tonight, I trusted you. When I was placed in foster care, I trusted my parents that I was living with. I would have never thought that I would have been molested or raped or what have you by someone that I said that I trusted, by simply sitting on his lap, shaving his beard, and that was turning him on. That's why I'm so. I tell my grand girls, don't sit on no man lap, because that's how things started happening to me. So trust can be portrayed in so many ways. So many ways.
It's a real thing. You right, CC. Mishandling is a real hurt piece. I'm telling you, there are some people who are going to really have to pay for what they've done, for how they have changed the trajectory of somebody's entire life because of that thing that you did. You messed them up for everybody else that came into their lives. You had an opportunity to shape and mold them in such a way that they could now be that thing for somebody else. And now they don't know how to successfully be that because their example is you, and you jacked them up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that me personally, when I considered the family members that violated me, uh, by the time I realized that that was what was happening, because you're put in a place of, if you love me, I love you, so I'm not going to hurt you. You trust me, right? Those are the words, those famous lines. And then you find yourself uh, depressed. You find yourself withdrawn. You find yourself feeling nasty. You find yourself uh, feeling like that's the only way you'll know somebody loves you, is if they handle you like that person was, because that's how much you looked up to them. That's from the sexual aspect of being mishandled, molested, raped, touched improperly. But when you have a friend, let's just go from friendship, because sex is the way most people go 1st.
Mhm.
So let's just talk about a friendship. How do people become the best of friends? How do people become acquaintances and associates? Because when we grew up, everybody was your friend. Everybody, that's my friend. When your mother say, where they come from, Mike, you don't know, that's my best friend. They da da da, and you don't know scat about them.
Right.
Except for they gave you some attention and they made you feel special. And so now you labeling them as best friend. And when you really sit back and evaluate the friendship, you find out that you were paying your way through. You were giving them candy, or somebody give you something, you giving it to them because you want them to love you. You want them to keep on calling you friend. You want them to include you in something. And so now, because of that, some of them, not catfish, because I know what catfish is. Some of them like pry you or push you into certain things that they know they wouldn't do. And because you want to be accepted, because you want to be loved, because you don't want to seem like you a chicken, or as they say, goody two shoe, you do it. And now you're messed up and they done went on about their business, right, and you're left to deal with everything. Not knowing where to put these feelings, not knowing how to express them, who I can express them to, what do I do now? This is where it puts, I trusted you. And people take that word lightly, but that is a very heavy word for somebody to say, I trust you.
When you say that you trust somebody, that's almost saying, I trust you with my life.
Exactly.
I don't use that word lightly. I don't tell everybody I trust you, because if I trust you and you hurt me, that can cause me to do a lot of things unnecessarily. That's why we have a lot of deaths, people killing themselves, people losing their minds, because you trust a person and they violate that trust. I don't think people understand what trust really is in this hour. Because if I'm trusting you, what you share with me is not my place to go and tell nobody else.
Right. And I tell young people that I talk to, even the adults that I talk to when we're having conversations about things like this, I said, why don't you be honest with somebody? When they come to you and they start talking to you, you know right away whether it's something you can handle.
Yeah.
You know right away whether that's something you're going to be able to keep. So why not be honest and say, you know what? I don't think I'm the one you want to talk to about that, because I think that's going to be too much for me and I'm going to need to, get somebody else's opinion. Why don't you be honest with that? Because at least the person knows in advance that it's a possibility you might talk to somebody else. But why make them think that they have your utmost confidence, and then you go to the person who you feel you got the utmost confidence in, and then they go to, so everybody going to who they think they got confidence in, but nobody's considering the fact that it never should have been violated from the start.
That's where loyalty lies. What's the other word?
Allegiance.
Allegiance. Nobody has that anymore.
Trust and loyalty go hand in hand. I'm telling you, we are living in a day where ain't nobody got no trust, they ain't got no loyalty, they ain't got no allegiance, nothing. People do not stick by you the way I'm a ride or die person.
Yes.
Like if it's you, it's you. And I don't tell many people that, because I know that I mean what I say. A promise is a promise to me. There are some things, and I'm going to my grave with, from people throughout my years of living have shared with me, that I still hold to this day, even though they violated me by telling my stuff to somebody else. Mm-hmm. I could have said, well, did they tell you this? But no, me and my little crazy self, I'm still holding on to their little secrets.
And then they get mad at you and blow you up while you're in the midst of others. I've experienced that too. Like, oh, so that's what you're gonna do?
Hey, son. It's like that annoys me, that I can hold on to your truths and your secrets, but you can't wait to get rid of mine.
Right.
Like, it's almost like, who can I tell first?
That's why you gotta know who you can trust.
Yes.
You can almost feel it. It's like you have that I don't want to say telekinesis.
It's almost like a leaping, or a woman that intuition. Yes, something in you says, okay, this is it. What I have learned in these latter years of my life is prayer is everything.
Yeah.
Prayer is everything. in this day and time, you need to pray and ask God, who can you trust?
Yeah.
Who can I give this truth to? Because there are some things that we have been carrying around so long, and we want healing. And the only way to get that healing is we have to be truthful about where we are. And in order to be truthful about where we are, we got to be able to tell somebody.
Yeah.
We got to be able to share this and not be condemned. Share this and not be shamed. Share this and not wonder who is going to next. Who can I share this with that will tell me where I went wrong and still hold my hand to walk me through it? It's not good enough for you to tell me I messed up.
Right.
Tell me I messed up and then tell me how you're going to help walk me through it. And if you don't know how to do it, say, you know what? I really don't know how to get you through that, because I can't say that I per se went through exactly what you went through, but I do know somebody who can. Is it all right if I share? Nobody does that anymore. Is it all right if I share this with so-and-so and let them know who that so-and-so is, because they might already have grief with that person? Can I share this with them? Because I'm positive that they can help you. Where's that church at?
That's a good question.
Where's that church? She said, if you slap somebody, I'm going to slap him too. I'm real loyal. I can't with you, huh? I can't with you. Ooh. You know, there's just some things we just don't do now.
We know who to call if we want to slap.
You know, I trusted you. And many people don't understand that breaking a trust is just like betrayal. Yeah, I ain't betray you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Let me tell you what betrayal is. One second. One second. Because people, you know, try to get literal now when it means them, but they want to be, you know, on point. They want you to have a roundabout when they talking to you about yourself.
Oh, my brother cat just died. Sorry.
Oh, I knew it was coming. One second, I'm coming. Don't go nowhere. Because I want to give you the whole. Betrayal. The action, I hate defining a word with a word. I'm going to give you another one I cannot stand. Betrayal is the breaking or violation.
That's enough right there.
The breaking
a Greek word now.
or violation. I can't with you. The breaking or the violation of one's trust. And trust.
Mine says confidence or moral standards.
So I trusted your character. That's what the definition of trust said. It said assured reliance on the character, the ability, and the strength or truth of someone or something, which means that I put lock, stock, and barrel in you. Like, no, I don't care what anybody else say. I know they would never do this to me. You ever found yourself there?
Yes.
And then found yourself kicking your own self in the butt because when people told you you didn't want to hear what they had to say, because you just believed that this person had your best interest, and this person listened to you so intently that is no way that they would do this to you, and boom.
Yeah.
That junk hurt so bad.
Feel like somebody turning your heart with a knife.
There are so many people, unfortunately, in today's church. There are so many people that are walking around with these issues and shame to talk about it. Like, it's bad when you really want healing and deliverance and you just scared to talk to anybody. Yeah. Because the church used to be where you could go and do that. Now the church is the place you got to run from. Tell the streets before you tell the church. Because the streets got your back. That's backwards. The church has always supposed to serve as a hospital. Always supposed to serve as a hospital. And it's not cool that people take light of your feelings. You know, people don't value your feelings until you hurt theirs.
Yeah. That's
Now they want the whole world. When it was me, you didn't understand why I couldn't just get over it. You did something to me and you want me to just forget it.
Yeah.
You said you're sorry. Why are you still holding on to it? I said I'm sorry. You must not understand what you really did to me.
I bleed like you bleed. How about that?
How about it? And now that it's you like, blessings, sir. Now that it's you that got offended, now you want everybody to come to your rescue because now it's you. I can't believe it. You ready to do this and you ready to do that. But what about when you did it? People never understand until it's done to them. But the fact of the matter is, I trusted you with my life.
Guess what? That's why it's a handful that I can say right now, I trust you with my life. A hand. And I can't even use all 5 fingers. I can only use the first 4 maybe.
I ain't no. So it's like I trusted you to hold my heart. But that's really what it is. I gave you my secrets. I gave you me. So I trusted you to hold my heart because that's what's scattered all over the place because of you betraying me, my heart, my feelings, my emotions. So I gave you my heart to hold and you stepped on it. And then you want to know why I had a heart attack. Where they do that
at? In holiness.
I can't with you. I can't with you. It really is, Nisi. I'm serious. I am so serious. That is really what I'm giving you. When I say I trust you, you got my heart in your hand.
How about this? I close my eyes. This is trust. Now, somebody asked me, I ain't going to say no names.
Why you won't say no names?
Nope. If I close my eyes, they stand behind me.
I'm going to catch
Would
you.
I fall back? I'm not going to do that with everybody, though.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that
because
with everybody.
I don't think you're going to catch me.
We did that in a prophetic class, and that didn't work.
You let me fall with my eyes open. I ain't going to close them and think you're going to catch me. No, man.
People, you have to...
Can you be loyal by default?
Loyal by default? Could be. Not in holiness.
Not in holiness, honey.
Y'all is killing me with
holiness.
These comments tonight.
Yes.
It's a real thing that and many people don't look at it like that. And I think that's why so many people get hurt so fast. Nobody looks at that analogy the way I said it. I'm literally handing you my heart and saying, I'll hold it. Don't let it get cold. It's got to stay warm so it can pump right.
Everybody can't do that.
But that's what you're giving somebody when you say, I trust you. That's what's happening.
And that's why so many of our hearts are getting hurt.
And that's where we get jacked
giving it to the wrong people.
We ain't praying and asking God no more. And in this day and time, I'm so serious. It is really necessary for you to ask God, who is it that I can entrust with my heart? Because if you and I are going to be in any type of relationship, trust needs to exist. It's just, trust has to. So, all right. What sense does it make? All right. I'm going to use you and I so I'll stay out of trouble. Okay? All right? That's okay?
Yes.
I'm going to use you and I. What sense does it make for you to say, you trust me with your life, if the first opportunity that comes around for you to be with somebody else, you jump ship?
Wait, say, huh?
Uh-huh. What good does it do for you to say, I just don't give it to everyone? We don't give it to everyone anymore either. Now it's just but who is it?
If you
who do I? Like, I'm not giving it to everybody. Just give me somebody that I could trust with me.
And if you give it to them, you don't expect for them to violate it.
Right. And
you should be able to be whatever you want to be around that person.
You love all of me.
Right. And
flaws
they
and
not
all.
take you and they not take it for granted because I might have messed up today. You're not gonna crucify me or hold me to the cross because I messed up and you saw my vulnerability. Everybody can't be a cupbearer. Huh?
And this is why I say people have to be careful. Everybody be so hungry for relationship that they just take on any kind of friendship. And that's dangerous. It's just dangerous because there are things that we have gone through over these 13 years, and we still haven't divulged our secrets. Even with our children, we still don't talk about one another. No matter what is going on, we don't involve anybody else. That's our junk, and we're going to deal with it, and God going to deal with us. And not everybody has that capability, and I thank God for life that it finally happened. It happened later on in my life, but I asked him for it, and it came to pass. I just believe that if I trust you, now I'm going into relationship. I'm moving over from friendship. I trust you, and most people... I'm going to be quiet. When I trust you in relationship. Now, relationship, y'all know it's got different levels, right? That storage, that filial, that agape, that erotic, that eros love. All of those different phases of relationship, right? So I trusted you. So now let's just go as far as we're dating. We're dating, right? And I trust you with me. And when I say I trust you with me, which means that when I'm with you, I can be myself. I don't have to worry about nothing. You make me feel comfortable about being who I am. And so now, as we are in this relationship and time goes on and emotions start to flare, you know, we might find ourselves holding hands. See, y'all, this old school might. Or we may have surpassed that and we done kissed a couple of times. And so now I'm with you and I'm trusting that it's okay to be with you. And so now we are together and things start to move forward and I say, I'm not comfortable.
You're not comfortable what? Kissing?
You ain't listening to me?
Yeah, I am.
I said, now we have gone beyond that. Hold the hands, we kissing now. We don't, our emotions is all over the place. So now we going further into this friendship, relationship, whatever. And so now we're out, we're together, we're by ourselves. And things start to go, well, I would say to the left, but y'all probably saying to the right because it's something you want to do, right? But now you start to feel uncomfortable. And you say, you know what, sorry, my bad. I wasn't trying to lead you on. I wasn't trying to, I just really don't feel comfortable doing that. But you continue and you force the issue. You just took my trust. Not only am I going to have a hard time explaining that, why? Because everybody know that we've been going out together and they just going to assume, because nobody asks questions anymore. They're going to assume either that you led them on or you asked for it, pretty much. That's just the way it comes across. So now you have this person over here that says, well, I've known you for so many years and I know you got a tendency to do this with the, and so maybe it wasn't forced. Now, this is somebody who's known you, so you're expecting them. You're expecting to be able to trust them because you trust what they know about you. And then you got the person over here that doesn't know how to perceive you because the ones who do know you are not even giving you the benefit of the doubt. But the fact of the matter is, whether I started wanting it, thought I wanted it, said yes, the moment I said, never mind, no.
You should have stopped.
No is no in any language. Nada, no. No.
Hebrew, Greek, Spanish, no.
Just no. Nah, no, no. So I trusted you
With my vulnerability.
with my vulnerability. That's what that's what the definition said. I trusted you with my vulnerability. That even if I didn't know better, you should have known better for me. Nobody thinks like that. Even Hootology. She is on a roll tonight. It's like, and let me be real with this. It's not just from the female perspective. There are some males that have been forced into sexual situations that just didn't want to do it. They wasn't even ready for it. And now you got them all jacked up and they think it's them. Because they trusted you. And you violated that, and they don't know how to let nobody know because everybody else know them.
What that word is? Oh.
So when we talk about trust across the board tonight, relationship, friendship, family. I'm telling you, there's nothing like betrayal. And so if I can't trust you no more, you have betrayed some aspect of my trust.
Absolutely.
I depended on you to be a set way that even if I went crazy, you would be that one to pull me back in. Because you understand what I'm saying? Like, if I'm trusting you, that means I'm trusting you not when I'm starting to go overboard. You look to see how far I'm going to go. I'm trusting you to say, yo, you need to pull that back in. That's not even who you are. But no, you watch me and then you go hee hee ha ha with somebody else because you saw a level of vulnerability in my life that nobody else got to see. And now I'm wondering why people looking at me crooked. And it's because I trusted you and you waited for the first chance to expose me. What do you do about the people who only want to meet you to expose you?
Oh, God.
That's a reality in today. I just want to know who you are so I can expose you. It's got to be something wrong with you. Too many people like you. Too many people believe you. Too many people looking up to you. Too many people following you. Even all the way back in ministry where people used to say we're a cult because the young people used to like to come to our church. People can't handle people just legitimately being good. There's got to be a reason behind it. There's got to be something else getting ready to happen. The floor gonna fall. You just wait. For real. Like, what happens? What happens? So we got all of these people in church now, looking at you sideways. They got some issues that they going through, and they don't even know who they could tell. Should they tell? Can I tell? How do I tell?
Yes, ma'am.
People, that's what I said. People come with hidden agendas. People introduce themselves to you wanting to expose who you are. Facts.
Hey.
Hey, Julia. See you soon. People can't handle the reality of a pure one. They really can't. Sir, they really can't. I don't understand. I don't know. I've always been that one. Like I said, people been talking to me since I was like 13 years old, and I still got their secrets. And I'm 60 something years old. I'm still holding their secrets. They done betrayed me 3 times over. And then they walk in the room like nothing never happened.
I think my heart gets me in trouble because I'm just not like that. If you tell me something.
Hey, Pastor DeVette.
Hi, DeVette. I miss you. If you tell me something, it's going to my grave with me. I don't care how mad I get at you. I don't care what you do to me. I just, betrayal hurts, and I don't like
It's
hurting people.
devastating, man.
Forget betrayal. I'm just not the type that I don't like for people to hurt. I don't like to see people cry. So less long am I gonna tell your business that you shared with me? It's just no way. I don't know. I don't understand people's agenda. I don't understand people that do it in marriages. I don't understand people that's best friends that do it. I don't understand people that's family that do it. I just don't understand it. And then they'll say, "But I didn't betray you. If you talked about me to somebody else, you betrayed me, boo."
No, if you sat in a conversation while they were talking about me and you did
That
nothing,
too. That too.
you are betraying my trust. You still have no allegiance to me because they shouldn't feel comfortable discussing me in your presence. They should be
If
able to
you
say,
listen to the
you know what, don't say
conversation-
nothing around them because they sure gonna tell that was me.
Yep. And if you listen to the conversation, you're just as guilty.
I'm telling you, people say, "Oh, well, I didn't say nothing. I just did good for this. I just wanted to hear what they had to say about you." No, you thought they was gonna say something else that you didn't know, and you was gonna run with it. Who stays around to wait to see if you getting ready to say something about my friend?
They do, because they've been waiting on an opportunity to
Yo,
say
I
something about you.
trusted you.
Yo.
No, I see you almost made me go street. I trusted you with my stuff. I trusted you with my heart, and I'm gonna keep on making that analogy. The moment I say I trust you, here's my heart. That's where my heart is, in your hands. Whatever happens after that is what you do to it. So every time you don't defend me when you should, there's a tear in my heart. Every time you share something that I shared with you, you're tearing at my heart. Look how my heart's starting to fall apart. You got me all torn up, ripped up, and all this stuff, and need special surgical care for my heart when all you had to do, your only responsibility was holding it.
It was too heavy.
Then you should have told me it was too heavy, and then I could have asked God to give me someone else. But don't let me keep on giving more and more and more, and no quicker than I give it to you, you spilling it. I know we say we want our cup to overflow, but come on. When will you be honest about you, boo? How about that? Be honest about you. You don't want to tell me your secrets, boo. Who gonna be honest enough to say that? There are some people in our lives right now that I would never have a conversation around outside of church. I would never,
because
you've already proven you can't hold water. You
that's
got
why
juicy
you don't
lips.
invite certain people to the family functions, because you bound to say something and you don't want to hear it again. If you're in my house and we're having a conversation, especially, it don't even have to be about nobody. I'm sharing personal things about me.
Stop taking my house to your people.
Right. That's why I don't invite it.
It's just, and people be like, "Oh, well, they act like they don't never know." I act like I know what I'm looking at. God gives us, each one of us, a measure of discernment. It's up to us as to whether we use it or not. Tim Cole says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. We must be cautious on those we converse among." You ain't never lied. We can identify that some of the disciples betrayed Jesus. It is unfortunately the reality of humanity. I'm so sorry that it is. It's really hurtful. I believe you cannot come to the cookout.
No.
Dom said, I mean never. It's just that
Dime, you was here the other night, so you know firsthand.
We had to say something, and I just don't hold my tongue that often anymore. And so we had to say something. I'll say I said something because I went a little further than they did. I ain't never saying nothing around you because I know who you go and tell. And if I wanted them to know, I'd be telling them myself. I don't need you to report to anybody what's happening in my life. If I wanted them to know, then they would be present. Since they weren't, you don't have the right to go share. If we're going somewhere and you happen to be, I take this so serious. Even if I'm going somewhere and you're traveling with me, and somebody call you, what you doing? Out. Don't be telling nobody where we going, who you got. That's why they not here, because they weren't a part of the ride. And now I found out that I can't never take you for a ride. You want to know why you ain't never in my car? I'm telling you now. I had to tell my daughter that before. When she was dating someone, they be talking on the phone, and I'm handling business, and she telling them, I said, stop telling them. I said it before, I could stop telling them where I am. I don't like nobody knowing my every move. I got one individual outside of God that know my every move. For a reason. People plot. People, P-R-E-Y. People are trying to set you up, and they don't set you up with no enemy. They set you up with what knows you.
Yeah.
I trusted you. Sometimes I just say things because I want to see if it's going to be repeated. It has no merit, nothing. I just want to know if it's going to come back to me. And lo and behold.
And then they say, well, it wasn't me that told it. Y'all was the only ones that was here.
Right, y'all. They got too much detail not to have been here. You crazy.
And everybody don't come over here. So if we invite you to the house, then know that you're special, because we don't invite everybody, especially not inside, let alone in the backyard, because you can't be trusted.
I don't even stay around long enough.
She don't. She be
my bestie be so upset with me.
But I'm not gonna do that on this live.
My bestie be so upset with me, but I have just learned my lesson that there's just only a certain amount of time that you can spend with people outside of church, because they either cross boundaries or say something that causes you to come close to coming out of character. So rather than put myself in that situation, I remove myself. Good night, y'all. They be like, already, y'all. It be early too. I be gone. My bestie be like, I was just calling to see if my bestie was still.
That's what I had said.
Still alive. And I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm here. I'm happy.
She disappear, y'all. She disappear.
In a minute. You know, it's just I've been hurt by those scenarios too often. I believe that if you have been, if you have the luxury, because that's what it is, of being invited to somebody's personal space, I believe that you owe it to them to honor it. You owe it to them to honor it. And people don't do that no more. So I'm tired of getting hurt.
Right. Slap right in it.
I'm really just tired of being hurt.
Because I can't trust you.
I really don't know. We know why.
Slap right there in the mouth.
I'm
Betty
sorry,
Boop
y'all.
right in it.
It's just a lot. It's I love people too hard, and that's how come I always get hurt. I don't know how to put restrictions on my love. If I love you, I love you, like for real. Like I just really care about you, and
she ain't lying. She really slapped somebody. She ain't got it all.
I just really, care about you, and I don't understand why people don't know how to give it back.
She's Peter.
She's our Peter?
Yeah, she's Peter.
Peter Paul, Joshua Job. She whoever you need her to be. She the one. Like, don't even call me. I'm that person. Don't call me if you don't want nothing done. That's who she is. So I don't even call my children. If I don't want no action, I don't tell my children what's going on. Because if they show up, they're not leaving until something happens. So I try to keep myself out of confusion for that very purpose. Because I know anything that I get involved in, my children coming.
All my kids.
Whether they like me or love me today or not.
Kids,
if they find out
grandkids,
that mommy's in trouble, it's over.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to put myself or my children in that place. I think beyond the moment, even when I'm upset. I don't want to tell my children, because then I'm gonna have to go get them out, and I ain't got no money. because I gave it to everybody that I trusted. And I'm still waiting for them to pay me back.
How weird with honor.
I gave it out. I wish I could say I'm lying. All my resources. I went broke being there for other people. I know, daughter. I know. It ain't no game. So I don't play when it comes to people's emotions. And then there are some people who really don't know how to handle me. They don't know how to deal with me. I'm not that person that I'm not, but I love the life out of anybody. If I let you in, you did something.
Come. I'm gonna clap on that because you don't let everybody in.
You did something.
She be like, no, we ain't talking to that one.
I'm not beat
Get
for
away
it.
from them.
I'm not beat for it. Like I be like, even with her, I was like, no, we're not doing it. See, this person was my friend for so many years. Let's look at this thing around. They ain't even speaking. No, get out my face, yo. Like there's a part of me that I like to allow to stay dormant. Stay dormant.
And when you're trying to dig yourself out of the ditch, most of the times, people that's closest to you get hit in the process.
Joseph's brothers put him in the pit. So if family did it to Joseph, who are we? Yeah. All because he got excited about something. He didn't even have a clue about what it all meant. He just had a dream and he wanted to talk about it. And because of that, he got put in the pit. That's why you can't tell everybody what you're doing. Learn how to move in silence. There are some people that are just duplicators.
Hatercators.
Ain't nothing original about them. You tell them you getting ready to do something, 2 days later they doing it.
Before you can even put it out.
And I'm like, I just don't think. And people's like, where y'all at now? We still on I trusted you. I just took the sexual aspect out of it. Because so many people focus on the sexual aspect.
Yes, they do. Family will destroy you. And it's a sad thing, but it's the truth.
It is. And it's like, really is. You got a lot of people sitting in church, like for real. Like, I ain't talking about young people because we can't save the young people because we got a lot of jacked up old people. And when I say old, meaning those of us who are seasoned, 60s and above, even 40s and above. There's just a segment in church that has some abuse, some abandonment issues, some emotional stuff going on, some rejection and betrayal going on that they have never been able to deal with because in our day, we just prayed about it. We had revival. Jesus was going to fix it. Ain't nobody tell you to go to therapy. They told you better shut up and I better not hear no more about it. They told you, come on, we're going to pray about it. They swept things under the rug. And now we got some old, bitter folk because nobody dealt with these feelings. So how can I help you get free and I'm still bound? Shouting, speaking in tongues.
Tearing it up.
Don't let the spirit of prophecy be in the house. You hear me say the spirit, not the, okay. And you get back home and some people don't make it back home with your bitter self. You forget hey, Daniela. Moving in silence. I'm telling you, everybody need to move in silence. That's true. They try to make you sit and wait for them to realize something in you that was there the whole time. For real. For real.
Let's talk about this.
That's so true. Okay. Apostle wants to go back to my daughter's comment. Most times family hurts you more than friends. Anybody else on here want to say something about that? We got something to say. We just want to see if you hate family. I want to see if y'all got something to say. My daughter says, my daughter-in-law.
Is that a true statement?
She said, most times family hurts you more than friends. Do I have a witness?
And how do you move past that because family is
torn.
What's the matter?
She said, that's why I'm home praying about church.
That is not an excuse. That is not an excuse. Torn, you were supposed to be looking into
That's
churches.
it. That's it.
But we're not gonna bother you
We're
tonight.
not gonna bother you tonight. Yeah. So my daughter-in-law said most times family hurts you more than friends. I just need to know whether I got a witness. I got one witness on one page. Do I have a witness that will identify and say, yes, I've been hurt. Unfortunately, it was by family more than friend, or by family more than enemy. Let me look and see who all of this is. That can be true most times because your friends are like your family. No, we talking about family. Tanasia.
Like,
now we really talking
like
about blood.
Your,
your blood.
Your mothers, your brothers. Your blood family. The same family.
I don't ever expect anything from anyone this way. I don't get hurt. And that's sad that we have to be that way.
I just said that to my daughter. If you stop expecting so much, you won't be hurt in the long run. And it's sad, but life has taught me not to expect certain things from certain people. But guess what? There is still some people, Shaitan, that you can really say, I expect it, and it happens. My bestie is a prime example. There's just certain things that you just expect, and you look for it.
And when it's not happening, you should be able to say that. If something happened between the two of us and we didn't meet the expectation in that particular situation, we don't say nothing in front of other people. But when we get to ourselves, we was like, I was really hoping that you would have said, or I was really hoping that you would have done without me having to say something. I just thought that you would have been that person. And that's a real place to be. And you're supposed to be able to say that. And so, yes, when you say, I don't ever expect anything from anyone, that way I don't get hurt. But hurt is what made you get there. If we really be truthful, hurt is what put you in that place because you trusted family. You, according to the definition that I gave y'all relied on the character, the ability, the strength, or the truth of that family member. You confided in them. You believed in them. You gave all of you to them. You told them things about, they knew things about you that nobody else knew. And you just knew it was going to stay like that until you heard it. And you know. And nobody else told that, because guess what? If somebody else did tell it, it's because you done told more than one person. Because I only told you. So if 3 people now know, you and the other people you told somebody else. We got some witnesses on here. Thank y'all. Yes, I've been hurt by family. Do you think it's the expectation because of blood relations and not the reality of what they are showing you? I'll ask that again. Do you think it's the expectation because of blood relation and not the reality of what they are showing you? Are you saying that they are already showing you? I'm coming to you, prophet, overseer. Wait. Okay. Daniela, are you saying that? She said, do you think it's the expectation because they blood? Because you my cousin, because you my cousin, and not the reality of what they are showing you. So even though you my cousin, you already showed me that I can't trust you.
Right.
Is that what you're saying, Daniela? Am I? Because I don't want to misquote you. Are you saying that even though you my cousin, truth of the matter is, that's as far as I could trust you, just being able to say you my cousin.
Okay.
All right. So I'm glad that I understand. So you've already proven to me that you being my cousin wasn't enough. There's that word with allegiance again. You just proven to me that being my cousin wasn't enough, meaning that being my cousin, nobody should feel comfortable coming to talk about me to you because you my cousin. And when they start talking, you ought to be able to shut them down and say, what you're not going to do is talk about my family to me, not participate in the conversation. Because technically, if you listening, you participating. So am I supposed to be trusting My cousin or the person my cousin's showing me she is? Things that make you go. The prophet, the overseer says, it turned out the truth I believed was only an image of what they wanted me to be. I'm telling you, I don't know if you were how much sooner you were on here, but that's what we were saying. You know, people have this idea of you, or they have this idea that they present to you of themselves, and because you don't know any different, and again, most of us are guilty that the first thing we do is not, God, is this somebody for me, or God, is this somebody I could trust? Most of us don't do that first. Most of us don't do that first. It probably would save a lot of us if we did, but we don't. And so now, who I thought you were just devastated me.
Could it be because we could be talking about family or relationship?
Now we on. I'm on I'm on Daniela's right now.
Okay.
We on family, so
Okay.
I trusted you. Now, I said, I gave the example of conversation. But what about the family that molested me? What about the family that raped me? What about the family that introduced me to sex before I even knew what it really was? I trusted you. You made me think I could believe in you. You made me feel like I could be vulnerable in front of you. You made me believe that there was nothing you would do to hurt me. I trusted you. Now what?
And that causes you to have issues with others and not trust others because of what was done to you by family. So you just got a whole messed up. You just all messed up.
Family shouldn't talk about each other constantly, you're right. But the fact of the matter is they do. They do. And it's not always negative. It's not always negative, so I have to say that. It's not like all families just sitting around talking about all the wrong that's wrong with you. No, there's some family members that even when people start to talk wrong, they the ones that say, yeah, but but they really do this, or they really, have y'all ever looked at them do this? Like they try to change the conversation around a little bit. There's a few of them left. There's a few people. Hey, Malik, there's a few of them left. I appreciate you guys joining in on this conversation. Some of you don't see what the other one is saying because some of you are on Apostle Juanita Armour's page, which is my personal page. But the others of you, there's 12 of you right now that are on the Loving the Me I See page directly. So when you're on the Loving the Me I See page, everybody gets to see what you're saying on the Loving the Me I See page. When you're on Apostle Armour's page, I have to read what you're saying to those that are on the Loving the Me I See page.
Do you trust your friend and your family? Sometimes your friend is more loyal than your family. So it all depends on your family, because I trusted my family and my father molested me. So it all depends. Maybe you've had that family where y'all were real close knitted and you didn't have to worry about trusting your friend over your family. But there's some of us that's less fortunate than others. So some of us do trust our friends more than we do our family, because they have shown us that they can't be trusted, and our friends were more loyal than some of our parents were. So that's just the truth of the matter. It hurts, but that is what it is. It's a fact.
Because there's some things that happen to you, and especially if you told, I'm coming to you, overseer, prophet overseer. There are some people in your family that did you wrong sexually. Here I am again. And so there are other family members that's mad because you told the truth about them. They say you accused them, but you told the truth about them. And so therefore, there are people outside of your family that took to you, that tried to help you heal from the wounds, while your family just constantly pushed you further out there because they was mad because you said it was about one of their people that they cared about the most. Everybody's family got their favorites. Let's just tell the truth. Everybody's family got their favorites. And there's just some people, everybody in their family got a drug addict, an alcoholic, crazy, gossiper, or sower of discord. Everybody's family got a mixture. And if you go, don't say you don't till you find out who all of your family is, because you got to really do your tracings and go back and see how far you go, because some of our families are intertwined, believe it or not. Sometimes my dad made me sell drugs as a child to eat dinner after doing my homework. Listen to this, y'all. I'm reading it. Sometimes my dad made me sell drugs as a child to eat dinner after doing my homework. I grew up thinking that that was how life was supposed to be, but it was the life that benefited them out of convenience. Out of convenience. Wow. Wow. Like that hurt me, and he ain't a child no more. That hurt me. I'm coming to you, Shaton. The person we used to keep trying to years. He said, this part right here is touching my heart right now. His dad used to make him sell drugs so that he could eat dinner after doing homework. He trusted his dad. This is what I'm talking about. He trusted his dad. He trusted himself to his dad. He trusted that his dad would never do anything to violate him. And while he's saying that his dad made him sell drugs and he didn't touch him wrong or whatever, the fact of the matter is he betrayed the trust that he had in his father. He caused his son to no longer trust in him in that vein, because he was making him go do something that he shouldn't have had to do, to go get something that he shouldn't have had to provide for himself. That's why I told y'all, when we say I trusted you, yeah, everybody goes sexually first, but there's a lot of avenues of trust and betrayal and allegiance that play a part in this. Not everything is sexual. My family knows me, so they know I can't hide. My face, my actions show everything. So they hide a lot of things from me. Now, Shaton, that's crazy, because I just had a conversation with one of my nephews about that very thing. Now, my children get on me, even to this day. My bestie get on me. I'm not good with hiding it. All or nothing. And they be like, you in the pulpit, fix your face. Or you ain't gotta, and sometimes I don't even realize that that's where I am. It's like my face is already talking, like I'm done with you before you could get finished with your sentence. And they be like, you can't do that though. And they're right, because I tell them the same thing. And so we have to work on those things. I'm a work in progress. I'm much better than I was, I could say that. All still talking about slapping people. There are people who didn't know my mother because of who she was. She was hidden. I am a direct product, bold and boastful. I am Rebecca's daughter all day. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Rebecca might have been soft, but you ain't want to mess with nothing that was hers. And you ain't never lied about that. But you're the direct opposite, because you're gonna be like, boom. You ain't gonna have to wonder. It's me. Yeah, I did it. I said it. I meant it. Now what? That's your turn. That's your turn. Yeah, but if she ran it like I'm supposed to do, it's just now starting to cool down. So I want to thank. Look at y'all been hanging tough with us. These, y'all. Y'all been hanging tough with us, and we appreciate it, because this topic is like so real. Like, again, like I said, when you say I trusted you, immediately people go to the sexual aspect of it, but nobody considers the fact that I trusted you. You have no allegiance to our friendship. You have no allegiance to the leadership that you are under or that covers you. I have a problem with that. Whether I liked what my uncle did or not, whether I believed the same, one thing I was loyal. You didn't talk about him to me. I didn't join in with conversations with you. I was the one that came and told. And I let you know I was going to tell, because I just believe that when people trust you, they should not only be able to trust you when they see you, but it's most important that they're able to trust you when they can't see you. I need to know I could trust you when you're not in my presence.
Right.
I don't need you jumping up for me while everybody in the same room and you want everybody to believe that you got my back. I need to know that when I'm not in your presence, you have my back. I trusted you. And only to find out you serving, you wiping, but you the one talking. Where do they do that? It's a different breed. I just didn't do it. I just believe that when you have a covering now, and this is another. This is why people will never be able to be who we are. They've been trying for years. It's just different. You're not gonna talk about me to her. People don't like her because she, before you can finish getting the rest of my name out,
let's go, boo boo.
She be ready to fight. Like, you got to really have a sincere question about me that she will listen to. But what you're not going to do is talk about me. And likewise, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Because I don't want that done to me. That's how I live. I'm not trying to do that to you because I don't want that done to me. I've seen it happen and I've seen what it can do to people. I don't want to be a part of that. And I don't have it all together. I never claimed to. But I do believe that if you say you love me, love is what love does. I should not hear from other leaders that you're coming to them and discussing me. Shame on you. Shame on you. I should not have an issue of, because I won't move you, I'm going to go to somebody who will. I have a problem with all of that kind of stuff because I didn't want what I have right now. God put this on me. I just believe that if it's about you, it's about you. You got to learn who's in your corner, whether they are a comrade or a constituent or a friend. A comrade, they only go but so far, boo. A confidant, somebody that I could trust with the worst of me. The worst. And they still respect me for who I am. And they don't wait for the first opportunity to go dog me to somebody else. Know that they can't say what they want around me. And I'm not going to tell you I'm going to handle it right then and there because I give them a chance to change after me. Right. Right. Constance, you're not the only one with trust issues. There are a lot of people with trust issues. And it's unfortunate. And it's because we trusted people, because we gave our vulnerability to somebody. We left our heart in their hand and they tore it up. They just dropped it. They dropped it. They ain't even try to gather it back together. They ain't even try to mop it up off the floor. They just left the blood scattered. And now they done gone on about their life. And now they still don't understand why you got an issue with them. I don't consider myself a covering. I prefer the term mentor. But the sad reality is people will submit to you just to seize an opportunity and take that very thing you've poured into them and use. That's what we were saying earlier. Yes, pour it into them and use it right in your face. How can you abuse the poor of who you're submitted to? This is what we be saying. And people make it seem like we the only one that feel like that. I'm glad to hear somebody else saying it. It's real talk. It's real talk. Like, we pour it into you. Stop expecting me to pour. People expect me to pour into them the way they see us. There's more to this than church. So you won't be able to ever probably understand where the true relationship is. The covenant, that word that nobody honors. The covenant that's here. Like it, love it, she be right here. Many times she could have walked away. But we're in covenant. Many times I could have walked away. We're in covenant. which means we don't like everything, but we love each other in the truest form. We don't have issues like the average person. Most people don't even know we different churches because we genuinely just want the people of God to grow. To grow. That's all we want. People to be better. But stop trying to be us, because you're not. Be you. Be your authentic self.
I don't know.
I'm not completely delivered yet, but I'm working on it. I think we all have room for deliverance. I always say every day I get up, I ask God to do it, because if he don't, I'm going to be a mess. But for the grace of God, Nita is not here. But for the grace of God. So I want to thank you guys for staying on with us tonight. We're trying to do better with not staying on as long, but when the conversation gets good, we don't like to cut it off, because when people finally get comfortable enough to talk, we want to hear what they have to say. So we thank you, all of the pastors, the overseers, the bishops, the lay members, the family, our spiritual children, our nieces, our nephews, all of you who joined us tonight. Thank you. All of you who stayed on with us to the end. Thank you so much.
Thank the slapping committee tonight.
For all of the Peters, we say thank you for being who you are. There's a place in the kingdom for Peter. Yeah. And so we love you guys. We hope that something that we said tonight helped you. So at what point do you wash your hands of the person who turned on you? Still talking about submission to leadership. Where do I draw the line? Because I got something to say. I want to hear you. So what do you do? So at what point do you wash your hands of this person who turned on you, that person who is supposedly submitted under your leadership? Where do you draw the line? Where do you?
When they show you who they are, their true colors. When they show you that they can no longer be trusted, because you don't want nobody under you that can't be trusted. So at some point you have to draw the line and wash your hands, or they're going to contaminate everybody else that's connected to you.
And so piggybacking off of that, when do you wash your hands? The scripture lets us know when we can truly do that. However, when somebody shows you who they are, all you need to do, because Jesus never got rid of Judas. He just made sure he was aware of everything that was going on. And so you expect, well, when you say serving, it depends on what level of serving, because what you're not going to do is armor bear me and I can't trust you, which we're finding these things out. What you're not going to do is serve me my drink. I can't trust your hands. And so I don't have to put you out the church, but what you're not going to do is be a part of my inner circle. You're not going to have the access to me.
Part of ministry,
yeah. That's why I said what levels of servitude you're talking about. You won't have as much access to me as you've had before. When is enough? The Bible says that we are to mark them that sow discord. So you are able to put them out there, so to speak, if that's in fact what they're doing. Now, if everything they're doing towards you comes from something between the two of you, there's a different way you have to handle that. There's a different way you have to handle that. But if they're going throughout the church and they're sowing discord, the Bible says you can mark them. It's not wrong with letting everybody else know. Don't talk to Sally. She a liar. They say I call people liar too easy, but they're a liar. All right? I hope we answered you. I hope we gave you something to think about. That's not the only answer. That is a good answer. We might have more to say, but we're going to end our discussion tonight because I have not eaten and it's time to eat, and it's time to just chillax. So I thank you again for all of you who came on, all of the leaders, all of you who participated in the conversation and didn't mind being transparent. We thank you so much. thank you for trusting us with you. Thank you for trusting us with your thoughts, with your feelings. Thank you for trusting us with your pains. Thank you for believing in us enough to know that we were going to have something to say that would help you. And it is our prayer and it is our desire that something you take away from tonight helps you after tomorrow. That's our desire. This is not for us. This is for everybody. Sometimes you bless us, you help us without even realizing it. And so we want to say thank you. Loving the Me I See is about you knowing who you are, flaws and all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the difficult, the shame, knowing all of you and still being able to love yourself. Because if you don't, nobody else will ever be able to properly love you because you don't know what it takes to be loved.
Come on, that part.
So
What do it take to be loved?
So we gotta remember that. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. At the end of the day, it's about you learning how to love you, because that way you won't take nothing else.
Can't nobody love you until you love you.
Can't nobody love you effectively until you learn how to love yourself. And how do you love yourself? By admitting who you really are. So that's something for you to think about. And we look forward to you joining us in our next portion of our conversation on next week. I doubt if we'll still be on I Trusted You. I know my bestie had a couple of topics that she didn't get to from months ago. So we want to go back because there are some things that God laid on her heart, and I never want them to go undiscussed. And so we will let you know before next week what the conversation. Twan, you ain't never lied. I have stayed so far away from actually talking about where I am with that. But you guys pray for us. We will be funeralizing our aunt. We'll be burying our aunt this weekend. My mother had 10 sisters and brothers, and they're down to the one baby girl left. One baby girl left on my mom's side, not my dad's side. And so we will be funeralizing her this weekend. So pray our joy that we get through this, that the family is able to do what is needed for each other in this time of our bereavement. We love you. Bestie's going to pray us out, and we will see you again next week at 9:15. Trying to find your topic. Those of you who understate Mission Torn, and it's like people like, oh, isn't that the one you were named after? Yeah, you know, the history and just the way things are going, it's a lot. But we appreciate you guys.
You ready?
Yes.
Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you. We give you glory for this night. Father, we pray that as we continue to love and continue to show love, we continue to understand as we open up ourselves, God, that everyone is not out to hurt us. Everyone is not out to get us, but there is still some real loyalty and love amongst us. We thank you for this time. We thank you for our Apostle Armor. Father, and I thank you for those that joined us that will continue to heal even through these broadcasts. We thank you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week. We love you so much.